shit.
I'm on video. Are you recording?
Yeah, I recorded that one, but that's more political talk. This is more
But
self growth
I
talk.
have the smoke in my hand. Is that no problem?
No, not a problem. I got smoke in my hand too. Go ahead and ask your
All right.
question.
You know Christopher Columbus, right?
Yeah.
Give me a 1 minute summary of Christopher Columbus and what he did.
Well, that's kind. Okay. In 1492, Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand chartered his expedition to go look for a faster trade route to India, or to basically to the east, because they were trying to find a shorter way than having to go around all of Africa. He in 1492 is also a very important year in Spain, but that was the what Christopher Columbus did. Then he found he went to Hispaniola, which is Dominican Republic in Haiti, I think that is. Why?
So more or less, he was sent on a voyage to go discover lands, right?
No, to find trade routes.
Trade routes, and through that, he put his name on places that people already lived. That he was the one who founded the place, right?
No, he didn't do it. Like the people after him did. He was a fucking he was a money man. He wanted money, man. He wasn't worried. Like he knew. Like that's why. That's if you see what happened after. They wanted the gold. They wanted money. They went on trading. Like they didn't go. They weren't explorers. What people think, right? They didn't fucking go to. They weren't going to India to go fucking on some great expedition and shit. They were going for money, right? If you're trying to fucking find a shorter route to the trade routes, then what do you're trying to find some land or you're trying to find some money?
Some money.
Okay, so then you run into some land, some shit. You're like, where the fuck am I? What is this? Right? Then you realize, oh shit, we are nowhere close to India. We are in some new land that no one's ever heard of. This is now Spain. Boom. That's how it was claimed. I'm saying it's not like people think like people think of shit way different, right? Just think of shit right now. If we go to space, right? We've already basically claimed Mars. Whoever gets there first, they gonna put their stake down and like this is my shit, right?
Huh?
But how do we know there's not people up there? How do we know there's not species
Ex-
on Mars?
exactly.
So just because we go up there and we claim it and we stick our stake in the ground and we're like, oh, this is ours now, just like what like all the Europeans did with everywhere else. Hey, this is ours. All right, doesn't mean that there's not people already there. There's Mars has been there for a billion years. You know what I'm saying? There is ecosystems that are already established, right? So whenever someone goes somewhere else and you start claiming shit, you're taking something from someone else's mouth, right? It's the zero sum game.
Uh,
It's the same as the stock market, same as Bitcoin, same as everything else. They went
okay, so now
trying to find money because Spain at the same time was the Spanish Inquisition. Spain was going to war and breaking and against the Moors, right? So I mean, you ask your second question because I think I'm going to answer it in my little rebuttal. You have to understand, like it's Christopher Columbus. Yes, was a very important person. However, it there's a lot that was going on in history. We love to think that history is just unilateral, right? Like it's just a movie. But let me ask you a question. So if someone were to tell our two histories, is it the same history?
now let me go to the next question, right?
Yep.
Um, out of 100%, right?
Mhm.
What percentage will you give Joe? As in, I know I fuck up sometimes.
Just ask the
I'm not.
question already.
And you didn't answer. You
Well,
like timeout.
this is my answer. The percentage of Joe doing what he's supposed to do, it lies 110% up to Joe. It has nothing to do with Eric. It has nothing to do with anyone else. Because anything can happen. Look, I wrote 2 books in 2 weeks. Right? I was supposed to do in 10 days. It took me 2 weeks. I got them around here somewhere. Right? You've seen me do all this shit. So if you study and you become valuable, right? If you understand, if you know all six or whatever these books like the back of your fucking hand, then you become valuable, right? To the cause. This is
So
wait, let me finish. This is the problem I've seen with you, I've seen with Yasin, I've seen with my brother, and I see with most damn near everybody, right? We've talked about this numerous times. You guys all think we're starting from the same playing field, right? But
no,
we're
I
nowhere
always tell
near, right? So
I always,
let
you
me
are
just
way
finish. Let me finish because this is where y'all get at it, where your guys' arrogance, because all y'all do, all of you think the same. Instead of thinking how can I help Erik, you usually think how can Erik help me, right? Which is the complete opposite way that you need to think. You should be every fucking minute you should figure out how can I make Erik's life easier. Because if you make my life easier, then you create value for me. But most everyone's thinking, how can I make your life easier? I'm not. Why the fuck would I make your life easier? I don't give a shit. You don't have anything I want. And I'm not just saying you. I'm saying you. I'm saying like to everyone else as well. Like
like
that's the problem with
like
poor people. They think that they should get a handout. But what they should do is go and fucking make themselves valuable. So if you want to be valuable in my life and you want to make sure that you're going to get the fuck out of Africa, then fucking make yourself valuable. Do
so
something
okay.
that I need, that I cannot do, that is irreplaceable.
So let me ask you this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me tell you one thing before I ask you. You remember when we went to Bogoso, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you came up with this plan. I told you about my grandfather's land, and then you came up with this plan. You were like, Joe, talk to your grandfather. Let's see how we can get it. Your land and then my land, right? So that it means we have a place in Takoradi or Bogoso before other people will settle in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I spoke to my sister yesterday, and she was like, is Erik serious about you leaving Ghana? And I was like, it's not about Erik being serious. It's about me being serious because Erik can just decide, not even September, Erik can just decide, come today. Okay, you're leaving Ghana. But then he wants me to be productive. So he asked me, what's the main thing you want me to do? And I asked him, you've given me books to, I told her, you've given me books to read. And then you're giving me a travel. You were expecting me to be in Takoradi since you left, but then I
Well,
wasn't
well,
equipped. And then
Joe,
what?
be careful on that because focus on the books because you gotta because all right, that was me explaining because you were talking about the dude from America. So sometimes you take things out of context. So when I was getting on you about that, I was trying to prove a point that if you had left 2 years ago and done what the fuck we were saying, then like at the point like okay, think about it. Think about if you had this mindset that you have right now 2 years ago when I told you to go, you would have been able
Exactly,
to get a lot more accomplished, right?
but like but like you wrote in your book, there are two types of people. There's one type who listens and then acts right after they listen, or they ask a question, right? And then the other has to be told 9 times. I never actually came. That never came actually into my mind.
Hello.